Hello, my name is Bin Chen. I'm a PhD candidate from Department of Psychology in Tsinghua University. My presentation concerns the role of expectation strength and task relevance in the brain's predictive processing. We can find the prediction mismatch responses, or PMRs, when we look at the differences between the brain responses to the unexpected and expected stimuli. For example, in human EEG studies, the unexpected visual stimuli compared to the expected stimuli will evoke a negative potential, the so-called visual mismatch negativity in posterior regions around 200 milliseconds after the stimulus. Predictive coding theory proposed that PMR, like the VMMN, depends not only on the difference between the representations of expected and unexpected stimuli, but also on the precision of those representations. Consistent with the theory, previous EEG studies found that PMR amplitude increased as the strength of prior expectation increased. However, whether and how these mechanisms will be influenced by task relevance is still unclear. In the present EEG study, we use emotional phases as the stimuli to examine how PMRs are affected by the strength of prior expectation and the task relevance of prediction-related stimuli. We elicited the PMRs by the Roving oddball paradigms. In our paradigm, either happy or fearful faces were presented repeatedly 2 to 5 times before unexpectedly switching to the opposite category of emotional faces. In this context, the faces with the same emotion as the previous one occurred more frequently, so they are the expected stimuli. Other faces are the unexpected stimuli. We quantify the expectation strength as the number of immediately preceding phases of the same emotion. There are 3 levels of expectation strength. 2, 3, and 4 preceding phases correspond to weak, medium, and strong expectation condition. To investigate the effect of task relevance, participants' task was either irrelevant or relevant to emotional phases. The emotional phases were surrounded by a rectangular frame with red or green colors. In the irrelevant task, participants need to detect the changes of the frame's color. In the relevant task, participants need to identify the emotion of the faces when the frame's color changes. After cleaning the data, we performed the ERP analysis. The ERP to the expected stimuli was subtracted from the ERP to the unexpected stimuli for different expectation strengths and task relevance conditions. We found the VMMN component in posterior region around 200 milliseconds after stimulus onset. An analysis of variance applied to the VMMN data only found a significant main effect of expectation strength. In both the irrelevant and relevant tasks, the VMMN was significantly larger for the stronger expectation conditions. These results suggested that the amplitude of PMR increased as the expectation becomes stronger, but it seems that task relevance has little influence on this mechanism. In addition to the ERP analysis, we also performed a decoding analysis to examine the brain activity pattern, not just the amplitude of PMR. We trained the LDA classifiers to distinguish unexpected from expected trials at each time point based on the voltages across all electrodes. Then we compare the decoding accuracies between different expectation strength conditions. In the irrelevant task, the decoding accuracy was significantly higher in stronger expectation conditions around 200 to 300 milliseconds. However, in the relevant task, the significant effect appeared around 300 to 500 milliseconds and seemed to be in the reverse direction. That is, the decoding accuracy was significantly higher in weaker expectation conditions. Therefore, task relevance has a stronger influence on the pattern of PMR. The brain activity pattern for expected and unexpected stimuli are more different when task-irrelevant expectation becomes stronger, but they are more different when task-relevant expectation becomes weaker. In conclusion, the present study suggested that the strength of prior expectation and the task relevance can jointly affect the PMR to emotional phases. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them for you.